Alright, welcome back to Northern Light Zoo here on the channel. Let's continue today with the Ibex habitat. I had a great idea that just hit me for it, and yeah, I'm going to kind of run with it and see what happens. So starting off, I'm just taking the chisel tool and I'm just chiseling down quite a bit in this hill. I want this to be a nice kind of a drop off. If you turn your terrain strength down, you can do quite a bit without it getting too extreme. So that's what I want to do here. I just want to make this a nice slope. Kind of like that. Not too steep, but I do want it steep enough that the Ibex will kind of do their little grazing on the hillside animation that they have. Alright, and then if you notice, the path here is kind of crooked and not great. So I'm going to take it out and fix it. Okay, so we're going to come in from right here. I'm going to use flattened terrain. I'm going to go with the 8 meter. Yeah, that's a lot better. Oh yeah, that worked out quite nicely. A little bit of weirdness right there. I'm gonna actually... do I want to do this? Sure. Sure, I've already committed. So what I want to do is just smooth this out a lot right here. Then we're gonna come back into our paths. I'm gonna turn off flattened terrain. I'm gonna reconnect that. And then reconnect that just like that. And then right here. Alright, I don't know what the hell happened right there. My microphone, my headset just kind of freaked out a little bit. So yeah, that's fun. I'm gonna come in, flatten this out right here, and see if that will connect like that. Okay, I don't like that. Or that. This is where it gets complicated, trying to make the paths behave. So now I'm going to turn off flattened terrain. And I'm going to have that connect like that. That is nice. That is a realistic slope for that path, mostly. And then that connects right there. All right, so the jankiness is gone. So that is important. Come back into paths. I'm going to come back into flattened terrain. Then let's see if this will work here. Okay, that worked. Yeah, sure. Leave it like that. And then I want another kind of viewing area right up here. I think this will look interesting. Is that too... No, I don't like that. That's way too close. Is that... No, that's not gonna work either. Ah. Let's come... Let's deselect the grid. Come over here a little bit more. Does that work? That doesn't quite work. You know what? That's better. Let's see how that connects. You know what? That's not bad. That's really not bad. Okay. Wow. The path system did what I wanted it to on the first try. That is cool. So we're going to have an upper and a lower viewing for the Ibex. Now I'm going to fix the terrain again. So I want to really, really carve this slope back. So I'm using the chisel tool here at an angle. And then I'm going to hit this with the smooth tool really, really hard. Alright, I think that mostly works. I did those with the path size too big. Darn it, I meant to do that on the 4 meter. Ah, terrible. I have to delete what I did. Knowing my luck, it'll never connect again. Okay, 4 meter path. And we're going to keep flattened terrain on. Line to grid to get our circle. And we're just going to deselect the grid here. We're going to come down like this. We're going to take off flattened terrain. Okay, that works. And then for here as well, I have to delete this part because it just didn't do what I wanted it to. Mostly because I forgot to change the path size. Alright, so 4 meters. Oh, that's cute. Yeah, that's exactly what I want you to do. Turn on flattened terrain just so it will work. Align to grid to make our circle. Yeah, that's better. Kind of. Oh, it's fine. Yeah, there we go. Now that doesn't cut in nearly so much. Fix that a little bit. Okay, now what I wanted to do will actually work. So if you use a 4 meter path piece, it lines up very, very, very nicely with the 4 meter wall pieces. So I can go like this. And just drop that down so that it's like that. Rotate it so that it's straight. And there we go. There's our first little viewing area. Now I can take this, I can duplicate it, and I can take it up here. It's the same deal. Spin it around. It doesn't quite line up here as well. Let's go like that, then I'll just fix the path. Okay, now it will behave. Maybe it won't. That's interesting. Okay, I'll leave it just like that. Alright, so we do need a hoofstock barn, and I'm going to put that right back here, so I'm just going to make a pad for it. Just by flattening this out. I think I want to actually use the flatten tool, not the chisel tool. Should probably help. It doesn't need to be a super big one. And I'm going to use the same pieces that I used to build the other barn. So let's see, yeah, kind of like this. Again, doesn't need to be crazy big. I think I made the pad for it way too big. I'll just have to extend that back a little bit. Like right there. I think that works well. Let's see. I could just duplicate that. You know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to just build it separate. Let's see, where are our wall pieces or our roof pieces here? Go like this. Again, really simple little barn design. Let's see, will a 4-meter be too strong of a contrast? Yeah, I think so. We'll go with the 2-meter. Yeah, that works. Alright, so again, really simple barn. Kind of cute. And then do the same thing on the other side. If I were smart, I would just duplicate this. But I apparently like to do things the hard way. Alright, there's our little Ibex barn. And get rid of this, get the barriers in, and then get these guys in here. We'll put that right about here. No. Yeah, right about there. Alright, nice straight fence here. Let's see, I'm going to run the null barrier down around this side. This is actually going to end up being a huge habitat. That's kind of my MO. Which is fine. I'll cram it full of rocks, so it actually won't be that much navigable space once I'm done. And we'll go around like that. Okay. Just want to make this a little bit taller. We'll put that at 3 meters. That should be sufficient. Alright, so far that's looking pretty good. Fix this one corner right here. There we go. And this one floating tree is going to go away. And that one too. Okay, let's get some Ibex in here. And see how they like it. Let's see. How many do they want? 2 to 20. Okay, so we can have a lot of them, which is good. Because it's a big habitat, so we should have a lot of them. Select them all. Oh yeah, it would help if I actually connected the path. Forgot to do that. Paths. What? Why? Ah, that's why. Alright, that connects up nicely. Now let's get them in here. So the Europe section of this little zoo is coming together quite nicely. I'm actually liking this a lot. We wait for the goats. I'm gonna go through what's already been built here. Liking it. So next up, do need to finish up the gondola station and then the indoor pavilion build here, which we're not doing today. That's gonna be for another time. Alright, where are they? So I want to continue this wall piece around as a fence. But just like that. There we go. All right. We've got our Ibex in here, so I like this. The scale of the habitat is a little bit extreme, maybe? But, I don't know, I kind of like it. Get a nice view, at least. Let's see, will any water work in here? Yeah, that works. And are we able to escape? Actually not really. Cool. So this works well. Got our little goats in here. Alright, so I kind of took a break here and I want to come back, kind of rethink this area just a little bit and what I was trying to do here. So I think I'm going to start up here. I'm going to get rid of some of that pathing right there. Then, I'm going to no, I'm not going to turn tunneling on. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to turn tunneling off. We're going to do this with terrain, which is going to be really, really fun to do. Okay, let's see if this will work. Smooth that out. Now, if I've done this right, yes. That is what I want. Let's turn off our square edges. Aha, look at that. And it fit right back in there. That's the magic of paths in Planet Zoo. Sometimes they just work perfectly. Let's turn our railing off though, because I don't need it. And now we have what I was going for originally, which is I want this to be kind of like a castle rampart that you could stand on to overlook the Ibex. Turn that just like so. Just that. Right there. Look at that. Cool. That is totally what I wanted. And let's get our wall right here. Love it. That is exactly what I wanted right here. And let's do the same thing down here. So let's get rid of the path. This is what I mean by don't be afraid to just go back in and start again. Let's get rid of that. Right up to the edge. Smooth it out. Smooth this out too. It's way too undercut right there. That's better. Then, well, is it gonna work? It is gonna work. It worked perfectly. Love it. Oh, I love it. Let's see here. Adjust that just a little bit. I like that. Just want to hide that curb since we can't make that go away completely. And we'll just bring that down. And bring that down. Much better. I'm much, much happier with that. So let's continue with the wall here. And to make this easier, I'm going to flip this on its side. Do I like that? It's a little bit off. Let's adjust these. Turn angle snapping off. Sometimes it's useful. And sometimes it's not. We'll put that like that. Just that guy. And then we'll continue with our fence over to here. Let's see, do I want to keep it going? No, I think we'll leave it like that. Sure what I'm going to do right there. So far that looks pretty good. I like that. Do the same thing over here. And then for this, I want to start to tilt this upward just a little bit to follow the slope. I wish the hidden barrier wouldn't highlight every time I have the advanced move tool open. It would make this a little bit easier just to see this area here. Let's turn that up. Too high. So this is just a lot of careful adjusting. But we're almost there. Like that. That's going to clip just a little bit right there. I'm just going to kind of ignore the Z fighting though. Back the other way. Rotate that down just a little bit. Scoot it back. All right, I'm going to leave that right there for now. Let's start detailing the actual habitat. So my rocks, I'm going to turn blueprints off just to make this easier. And then I want this to be mostly natural rocks. Ignore that, that's a mod. Let's see here, I'm going to use the tiger rocks. And what this is going to be is this is like all the rocks and boulders and stuff that had to be moved out of areas of the paths and the plazas and other habitats. They all got dumped in here for the Ibex to play on. So this is going to be just kind of a big rock pile, which is usually what most Ibex habitats and zoos are anyways. Let's see, do I like that? Not sure that I like the rock work right there, but I think I'm gonna leave it. So the way I do rock work is I start with one rock, usually the big one. Just place it all around with random rotation turned on. I want to kind of make this like an overhang a little bit. Let's see, I think this will just be a big rock formation right here. It kind of sticks up and visually blocks off this part here. Then I'll grab another rock. Add that in. This is how you make your own natural looking rock formations out of the stock rocks that we have available to us. I like to use random rotation turned on and just place the same rock again and again so that it kind of makes itself do random things. And just placing more. So anywhere there's a really steep elevation change, I want there to be like a shelf of rock. That way the Ibex will kind of climb around. Again, come back in, add different types of rocks. Down at the base of the little viewing area, same deal. And then I just want to edge this out with rock as well. And then right here, we'll just put another big rock formation. Make that a nice cliff. Although in reality, the Ibex would probably be able to just jump right up into there. Because that's kind of what they do. Let's not forget about this little corner over here. Want it to be detailed out. So I just want to check. So she's kind of stuck right there. Yeah, they have a lot of traversable terrain. Okay, let's figure out a way for her to get out of here. Oops, I kind of buried one in a rock. There we go. Now that one can get out of there. Then taking the smaller rocks, sinking them at various points into the ground. So it just kind of looks like there's boulders strewn throughout here. And at this point, I want to turn angle snapping or aligned surface on. And just let these kind of be random, do random things. Sink into the ground in different and random ways. Sink them into other rocks. This will help give a sense of realism here. I wonder how this will look if I turn that off. And we just put a full-on rock wall back here. If this will look good or if it'll look like something they can totally escape from. I think it would be kind of cool. You have this big rock wall back here and you can come in and see them climbing up to eat like the lichen and stuff off the rocks. That's something that they would do. So I might just go ahead and do that. Just continue this all the way around. And then I'm going to take my barrier here. And I think I'm actually just going to set the whole barrier to null. Why? Why didn't you let me do that? Can we just do that section? Okay then. I don't know why the barriers do that sometimes. And yeah, I think we can leave that section there because it's not particularly visible. So let's take a look at that. Ooh, that looks nice. Yeah, we'll leave the rock. The rock can be there. So let's finish this little part here. And so again, same thing. I like to use the big Tiger Rock #1 or whatever biome rock, the #1, just to make cliff faces. Because it's large and it's got a couple of nice flat sides that lend itself to that. So again, just using random rotation to add that little bit of randomness into there. Let's see, does that look alright? Usually I don't like it when the rocks clip into the path, but I think it kind of fits with this. It kind of, that won't work though, because I think somebody would just hop that. Even though our guests in game wouldn't do it, I'm always thinking of ways that guests can hurt themselves in the zoo, because they do in many varied ways. So we don't want anybody hopping in to go visit the Ibex and then falling off this cliff and getting themselves hurt and then suing the zoo. Or setting their kid on the railing and having their kid fall in. Because, yeah, that's a good idea. Let's set the kid on the railing where there's a 20-foot drop beneath. Yeah, people do it though. Okay, so we've got our rock work in. I like this. I think it looks really good. They've got their little barn. They've got their water. Let's get some plants in here now. I'm going to filter this by Europe and temperate and taiga. And I think I gotta use the Aleppo pine just because I love this tree. So we're gonna ring the outside of the habitat with this Aleppo pine because it's nice and tall. It'll be good and visible, kind of as a backstop. Get some of the smaller ones in here. And a couple of the little ones. Well, already looking good. I want to get a beech tree or two in here as well. Just because they're nice and full and they fill out the area very nicely. I'm liking that. I'm gonna get a little different angle on the lighting here. Let's use some of our moss pieces. That will look quite interesting, I think. So I'm just gonna sink these in. And they can still traverse over this, right? Yeah, they can. I love their little hoof sound effects. Now, do I want to do the whole habitat in this? Really not, because that's going to get really repetitive. But we'll have that section. Maybe we'll do like the middle section where it's sloped with this. Yeah, so I do really like this. Okay, maybe we should do the whole habitat in this, because that actually looks quite good. Swap back and forth between the carpet moss and the campion moss. Alright. Ooh, that's starting to look really nice. I think. Yeah, I'm quite liking that. Let's see, there we go. Okay, that's starting to look really good. But we don't want too much of this. And I have plant requirements turned off, so this is probably way more than what they'll actually tolerate. Let's get some actual terrain painting in here. Paint a little bit of this. Paint that out. Oh, that looks nice. I like that. Let's get some bracken in here. I'm gonna break up the edges of this stuff a little bit, this moss. I don't want bracken growing sideways. We'll get that in there. I do have I do have this bad habit of going completely overboard on foliage to the point that I just overload my computer with it because the graphics card doesn't like to render this much foliage, this much polys. But I shouldn't have to worry too much about that in this zoo. I mean, get a little bit of a frame rate drop, but nothing major. we'll keep going with this, and I'll keep going with this same kind of overplanted style that I like to do anyways, until the computer cries for mercy. And now that I've put the new graphics card in it, it does run much, much better. Let's see, we'll get a little bit more in there. Ooh, that's cute. Okay, so we've neglected this area over here though. So let's get some of the moss in here. So I'm trying to make the whole exhibit, the whole habitat look consistent. And the way to do that is what I've done to one side, I should do to the other side. Some of the smaller pieces. Like that. And we'll get that bracket in here as well. Just kind of conceals those edges a little bit. And do I want to use the caribou moss? I mean, it would fit in this habitat, but I've just never liked it. It just kind of looks like a pile of puke, so I'm not going to use that. What else do we have that would be good in here? Let's get some hawthorn in here. Do how I like to do with just sinking it into the ground and using it for grass. I think it just adds a little something to kind of break up the dark green. Even though in reality this would be pretty quickly grazed down. Most ungulates are pretty hard on any kind of planting and foliage in their exhibits, which is why they're generally exhibited in a dirt rectangle. 'Cause, yeah. But this is a game. It's fantasy. It's fun. So we can have a well-planted herbivore exhibit. And we'll go over here, we'll make this a little bit thicker, like maybe this is a little spot where they don't get to very often. So we'll put that up in there and a little thicker. Ooh, I like this. Ooh, let's see them go over here. Whoops! Big jump. Okay, we were doing a jump and a spin in midair. That's cute. Like that. Can they not actually go over here? Yeah, they can. They can get up in there. Okay, so they have good traversability. Oh, they can't get up in here at all. If I get rid of that rock, will that change things? Come here. Hey! Ooh, look at that! So by deleting one rock, I've now opened up the whole rest of the habitat. Perfect. Let's see. Let's get a few Scots pines in here. Just these smaller ones. And maybe one big one. Right there. That looks pretty darn good. I like that. Yeah, that looks pretty nice. We do need to do a little bit more on our viewing path up here. Let's grab that one. I'm gonna turn my random rotation off here. I think I'm gonna keep it on the short side while we go around this curve here. go down our slope. And then back to the short side. And we'll make our corner. And tie that into the rock here. Just like that. So that's nice and cohesive. We'll plant this little area right here. Get our alpine sea holly in here. I don't use this one nearly enough. It's very pretty. You would realistically expect to see more planting around the outside of the habitat anyways, because that's where the animals can't really get to. Alright, little of our dog rows. I just love these new ones. Excellent. And just for the heck of it, on this side, put in a big old rose bush. Just because I can. Ooh, so I like that. I really like that effect right there. And then I just want to bring that out over onto that side. Excellent. Let's put in a couple of benches. And I'm gonna use just the classical bench. There. Why can't I put it right there? Okay, fine, it can go right there. Nice shady spot to sit. Watch the Ibex. Alright, so this is a fantastic little habitat. Liking this a lot. Seems like the Ibex like it. Don't believe we've got any enrichment in there for them, though, so let's do that. Let's see if we can fit their climbing mountain in here in a place where they can actually use it. Can it go right there? God, why? Okay, no. Let's try that again. Okay, maybe we'll go right here. Like that. And then we're just going to take our terrain and we're just going to smooth the heck out of this and make it go away. Just put that away. Put that back. And smooth that out. Oh, the joy of Messing with terrain in Planet Zoo. Okay, what have we done to this? Yeah, that's what I thought. Wait, did I pause it? Yes, I did. I paused it. Okay. Recalculate. Okay. Yeah, it looks like we should be able to use that. Alright, so we've got their enrichment thing in there. But we're gonna have to put the hanging feeder over here because there's just no way the keeper's gonna make it anywhere else. Let's give them a scratching tree over here. I wish the enrichment items wouldn't do this, especially when I place them on rocks. And habitat. Oh, a little scarecrow feeder. Yeah, we'll put him right there. Put a melon feeder there. Alright, I think that's probably sufficient. Yeah, they like our little scarecrow. These are so detailed. I love them. Like, just the animal quality in this game is just getting better and better. If we look at, like, the lion from launch and then these guys, it's just... It's just, there's just no comparison. The animal teams are just getting better and better at what they do as this game matures. And that is just such a nice thing to see. God, look at him. Look at him. Look at their little jump. Yeah, these guys are awesome. All right. So this turned out actually a lot better than I thought it was going to. I'm really, really happy with the results. I do hope you guys like it. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Gonna get started on next is probably gonna be our little adventure pavilion, discovery pavilion over here. Still need to do that. But yeah, give me a comment what you think. What should we work on next? Like if you enjoyed this video, subscribe if you want to see more, and I will catch you in the next one. See ya!